Next, I was wondering, how can people use the EQ 360 with leaders?
Okay, that's a great question, Sally. So the EQ 360 has a leadership comparison or database that we like to use it with. And what's really interesting about that is it tells us how good the leader is in terms of being together with their subordinates and others who work with them in understanding what their emotional strengths and weaknesses are. So once again, when we test leaders with the 360, before we present them the results, we often ask them what they think their strengths are and what they think their subordinates will say their strengths are, which is again a way of just getting a sense of how well they know themselves and others. There's three possibilities with leaders in a 360. Some of them underestimate their skills. They're very humble. They don't want to overproject themselves. And that's good to know. It's good on the one hand, but it's also a bit of a weakness because they don't really utilize their strengths, right? The second are groups that are actually right on and manage to agree with their subordinates where they are. And the third group is one that overestimates. They think they're the most interpersonal, they're the most empathic person, but their subordinates see it quite differently.
Yeah.
And that's usually the most difficult to deal with because you have to try and bring them back down to earth and show them the reality of the situation. But I've seen many leaders saved as a result of that because they were on the edge of being turfed because they didn't realize that they were completely out of touch with their team and how they were being seen and were not getting good cooperation from others. So the EQ 360 can be very valuable in helping guide leaders on the right path to being successful.
Excellent, thank you.